Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Alan Troop reporting news from around the Columbia Basin from Monday, December 16th. Tonight, we report on how a Moses Lake businessman is accused of helping robbery suspects and how law enforcement was appreciated for their efforts to combat drunk drivers. In sports, Bob Kirkpatrick reports on all the latest Columbia Basin sports. And our spotlight story tonight is about the miracle on Main Street that took place in Ephrata. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story tonight, a Moses Lake business owner is accused of withholding video surveillance related to a pair of November robberies from police. Prosecutors charged John Robert Abens, a 55-year-old man and owner of Moses Lake Security, in Grant County Superior Court with rendering criminal assistance in the first degree. The case revolves around the robberies of 2 gas stations on November 10th and November 11th. Police claim video surveillance from a motel may have shown one of the suspects wearing the clothing used during the robberies. Police are accusing Abens of not turning over the footage. Abens told iFIBER 1 News the computer data disk containing the footage broke while in the trunk of his car and that he didn't have to turn it over. Abens said, "I've been good to them. They turned someone who volunteered all their time into a criminal. I think I would still help them. I'm a forgiving guy, even though I think I've been treated pretty poorly." Many people are thankful for law enforcement when they stop a drunk driver, and now some of them are aware of it. Reporter Vivian Huang tells us about the Night of 1,000 Stars.
It was the Night of 1,000 Stars. The Central Basin Traffic Safety Task Force acknowledged the efforts of local law enforcement officers to keep impaired drivers off the roads. Officers from both Grant and Adams counties were presented awards for making a minimum of 20 DUI arrests between January 1st and November 16th. Awards were also presented for the top cop with the most DUI arrests, honorable mention awards, and Night of 1,000 Stars awards for education. Target Zero manager and coordinator Erica Simmons told iFIBER 1 News why she feels acknowledging the officers is so important.
I cannot say enough about the officers I work with. Their camaraderie together, the agencies, they all work together so well. I mean, and we're talking Adams County and Grant County both. It's the way they interact with each other and the way they respect each other is amazing. And for me to just be a small part of it, I just feel honored. So I feel it's very important for the public to understand. So many times people look at cops as the bad guys. They're always out there writing tickets and they're, and especially children, there's a lot of children that they see an officer come to arrest a parent or it's a bad circumstance. And so I think we need to remind the community that they're doing a very dangerous job and they're doing us a huge service and they don't get thanked enough. And so I want to make sure that they're thanked for the efforts that they make. They're saving lives, and that's important.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Vivian Huang.
Thank you, Vivian. And we thank the police, deputies, and troopers who help save lives every day. 77 items were stolen from the Dollar Tree in Moses Lake on Sunday evening, and all $77 worth of goods were recovered by police. A couple reportedly stole clothing, makeup, and personal hygiene items from the store located on Pioneer Way. According to Moses Lake Police, a description of a red pickup leaving the store led them to a home in the 500 block of South Canterbury Lane. A search warrant was obtained and police allegedly found the stolen items along with heroin and methamphetamine in a bedroom. 2 suspects were identified in police records but do not appear to have been arrested. Both are 28 years old. Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the DOC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We will be back up to these messages with the latest from our iFIBER One Weather Center, sports, and more news.